I'm getting,
Do you need this screenshot?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under
under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
morning, it is September 24th, 2024. And on the agenda, the board minutes for September 10th, 2024.
I'll move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, correspondence.
Hi. Here is her form to go to retirement, with this being her retirement date. And here's her signature with the date she signed it.
Okay,
If that was the case, she should have told me then that she was working, because she would have known on this day that she was working into July. And here's PERS.
okay, okay. Okay, we'll get this back to you.
That's for you. That's just a copy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Correspondence. Okay, we have an email from Todd Blythe. And it is concerning moving to a minimum release of 6 CFS following the October 15th end of the irrigation season and maintaining this CFS until ice on. This was discussed as a way to increase storage after a bad runoff year and to maybe buffer lower dissolved oxygen in the lake over winter. Okay, does this need to, this would probably correspondence be brought up when we get to October 15th?
And then,
Decide.
well, we'll probably end up talking about it a little bit more today. There's other stuff people are calling in during the dam tenders.
I mean, we plan on doing that anyway.
Correct.
We did it other years.
Mhm.
The next email is from Ben Singer,
Singer,
and it is a forecast of precipitation for the commissioners regarding releases of water, and the 10-day forecast shows partly cloudy. The long term, and what he's saying, current levels are normal for longer term data. The US page on Flint Creek is not working correctly, but releases have been 30 CFS all summer. So far in September, the inputs have increased to 13 CFS. According to the license, releases will be reduced to 10 CFS on October 15th. At current inputs, that would put the lake at 6427.88 on that day. Presumably, lake level will slowly start increasing at that point. So on this previous email from, they're saying to bring it down to 6. Didn't we have it at 10 last year?
well, we always drop it down, we 15 to 10 or, yeah, I mean, we always do. But right now, it's, we just following the suit of FERC.
So that email there is recommending us on October 15th to drop it to 6.
I think
Because it is so dry. Yeah, I
And
totally agree with you.
We talked about that, we keep them, yeah.
Couple of 3 years ago, it was like 6.
Yeah. And then like the hydroelectric plant, they were. Because they're not making anything at 6, right?
Right, and I think that's why we went to 10, because we didn't have to really go last year to 6. And we're trying to make it a little bit more power.
Times,
You never know.
trying to survive too, we
Yeah.
gotta look at everything, it's
Right.
just not about filling the lake, I mean, we got,
So if we go to 6 and then we get a whole ton of precipitation and then the first December, whatever, we could probably go up to 10 or.
Maybe we can start gaining a little, make a little money when the prices of electricity goes up too, that was the next big thing, so I guess it's just playing by ear, I mean.
So this question is, this email is he's stating that looking at precipitation, you could keep it at 10, so that's his opinion. Right? Okay. Next is a memo. From. The county attorney. Or from Justice Court to the county attorney, county commission and sheriff department. Judge Fratsky will be attending. Fall conference from September 23rd to September 25th. Okay, so the next one is from Chantil. Cyperius. From Mako. And. Her her email is. The press release from Flathead County regarding Commissioner Randy Broadell, who has been invited to participate in the 2024 Intergovernmental Forum of Public Lands and Payment in lieu of taxes. Granite County Commissioner's Office.
Hi, I'm trying to reach your IT department.
The what?
IT department.
Your IT person that
Would you please call 859-3771?
859. Sorry, say that again.
859-3771.
771. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. So a number of Mako members are attending what is referred to as Pilt Fly-In this week in Washington, D.C. This event is organized by the National Association of Counties, NACO. It's short, fast-paced, and revolves exclusively around Pilt advocacy.
Did they talk about that at the meeting?
But
No,
that we weren't going to get Pilt, or
no, that they were gonna go and try to convince people.
no, it wasn't even on the agenda. So basically, this is a news release where it says Flathead County Commissioner has been invited to NACO to attend. And it's concerning the Pilt. Okay, so. This is from. James Prusa. About Granite County road work. Completed just in time, Granite Road property owners.
That's the one up there, Brad.
Have you read this? I didn't see this. Okay, so this is to Granite County Road from Peaburg up to the Ghost Town State Park was doing super well through this summer since the county, your team cleared the uphill ditch lines a year ago. Your grader operator, John, did a masterful job, albeit a difficult task, playing catch up. Sadly, about 10 days ago, there was a deluge with very heavy rain in a short period while I was up in Helena. It ripped a lot of sediment down into the ditch lines and several culverts were flat buried. You know how critical culverts and with forecast rains, blah, blah, I knew it had to come maintenance done fast per our road agreement. By the way, I think our road agreement can serve the county well as a model agreement. I sent out the below report on my efforts the last 2 days to most Granite Road property owners, just now as a report. This is not something I wanted to do by myself because I'm under serious time constraints with my ongoing construction. Per our written maintenance agreement with the county, please accept this written email communication as an update report. Okay, so this is an update report. FYI, there was one spot lower on Granite Road where we should replace a steel culvert that John inadvertently crushed last year. He could not see it. I am happy to install the culvert in the county if the county can supply such. Again, thanks. So on this, did you want to, we sent pictures.
And that went
Maybe
to
we
Paul
put
as
it on,
well.
for next week with Paul.
Okay,
Sounds like he probably should go up there and look at it.
there is a lot of side roads being built going up. Okay, so put this with
Road.
next week's agenda so we can visit with Paul on it. Maybe get it to him in his email so that he can
Okay,
go over it.
Look at it.
I can do that.
Oh, you're looking, never mind, sorry. Okay, this is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And a plan and schedule response to the attached letters dated May 20th, and this is from Kareem with Burke. May 20th acknowledgement letter, and were requested within 60 days of the date. Responses to these letters have not been received as the date of this email. Please e-file a plan and schedule for an extension of time. Request for these letters individually as soon as practical. Okay,
I emailed, that went out to Great West, and I emailed Jeremiah following receiving that, asking for an update of where we're at with those documents, and he was gonna look into it and get back to me. I haven't heard back yet, so I'll follow up again today.
and this letter, we have our experts, Great West, doing our work for us, so. I think in response to this, we are notifying Great West
Mhm.
You
and
look at
getting
it.
them on these letters from
Yes,
Burke.
Yeah, I think, like you said, sorry, I was looking at the kids or how. Paul run up there and look at it next week or make sure this weekend or anyway, cause it looks like he's way up on the bank digging. Way up, because there's trees knocked over and stuff in the road.
Who is that?
Mhm.
That got, oh, okay, yeah, we'll get this somewhere.
Yeah, you start looking there at the road.
Okay, so. This next one from Kareem. And. It is in response to the response
yes,
from the FERC letter that we haven't. Requested within 60 days. And Billy has gotten in touch with Great West.
Mhm. And I'll follow up again today. I haven't heard a response.
And as Great West being our experts, we do go on what they recommend.
It's what we'd have to pay him to do.
Hey, that's it for correspondence. Our next agenda item is public comment on matters within the commissioner jurisdiction. Is there any public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction?
We better have a copy of that road use agreement thing.
I think it's,
Yeah, cause on that looks like new digging like in that ditch. And then he set it in the road. And what it,
Oh, like,
yeah. There's a lady supposed to call in this morning. I told her to call in a public comment. She called and was curious about what the county can do with that slide at Bear Mountain. It says nothing to do with us. It's a Department of Transportation. But she was gonna call in and she wants to know if she's gonna talk to her senators and all that.
it slid again.
You know. They're possible. But she says it's moved, but they went out and studied it and everything.
Well,
So I don't know. She said she's gonna call in, but I just gotta give you a heads up. No, I'm starting. I put this other. And it's a personal thing. I'm here, right?
Am I early?
you are, but
Oh, yeah.
Good, how about you?
We should have put 7-3 instead of,
I haven't seen those.
because we asked her to.
That's us. I mean,
Hi there.
Hello.
I just don't wanna say nothing, Carol.
You're in that session.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm here with the Badger Bay stuff and the encroachment permit guy.
He did come in and do an encroachment permit yesterday.
You're like really early,
Am I really early?
You're 10 minutes early.
Oh,
but you could stay and visit with us.
I thought he was on for 9:20.
9:30.
Okay.
They came in and paid for the encroachment permit. They haven't, and then they took it with them to fill out and do stuff and bring it in today in case there's questions.
Okay, it is 9:20 by the clock on the wall. And our next agenda item is weekly report with Road and Bridge Superintendent. Paul Alt is not here today. Do you have any information on anything that's happening?
He just told me that everything's going really good, that they're down Rock Creek and. Yesterday I seen them in Drummond cleaning the more stuff out of that creek for the city of Drummond. That beaver stuff that we said we could go do, it looked like they got it done yesterday, other than that. If. Pretty much kept up to what it looks like to me what they're trying to do. They're gonna put in some more culverts and that. Yeah, no, roads look good, I thought. With no moisture and all the traffic.
Yeah, they just started cutting grass yet?
I don't think so. I think they're trying to get, they were trying to finish up that, but a little bit gravel they had left to haul and then they'll probably start. I've never even asked them, but I figured they'd probably start this week or next week.
Is there anybody that's gonna join you on? We have been joined by Linda Bach, our county planner, for the next agenda item. And was anybody gonna?
I think the guy was
I
coming
think
in.
they're coming in and I think Blaine had some comments on this matter
So
too.
that agenda item is at 9:50.
Yeah, and then on the solid waste thing, there's still quite a few people calling because they don't understand, but I keep telling them that. If you're getting close and that, you can buy another unit, which is cheaper than paying by the pound. Still.
They shouldn't even be getting close, they just started. The
it's-
new fiscal year was July.
I think it's just because it's out and about and everybody's talking more and more about it. And
But with solid waste and assumptions that Granite Disposal had to raise their prices because of Granite County. I think that needs to maybe be put out there that absolutely wasn't anything to do with Granite County. We didn't raise our prices. He raised his.
yeah, no, that shouldn't be true back on us. 'Cause a lot of people I know they say, well, he raised it, he's saying because you guys did this and that. We didn't do nothing but just made him be what he was supposed to be.
If you did that. Yeah. Is there any public comment on anything to do with road and bridge matters? Okay. In that case, we're gonna recess until 9:50.
No,
I'm
you're back on.
sorry, I read the agenda wrong. So are you here concerning the encroachment permit and easement? Okay. Hey, got a few minutes. Hi,
Good morning.
okay, we can go ahead, you're here for the, your Ed,
Yes, and this is my wife Nancy.
so we can go ahead and start that agenda item. Ed Lynn is here. And is reproaching and requesting an encroachment permit and easement to water and sewer connection. Okay, go ahead, you wanna come up and state your name? And
That's it?
your request.
My name is Ed Lynn and we are asking for sewer and water well, first of all, our house is on 700 Spring Street, which is right next to Stephen, Anita, and Mishu, and right below John and Shirley. How do you pronounce their last name?
John, are you talking John Johnson or?
uh,
No, you're by Amy Shoes.
yeah, we're right next to Shoes. We have that little white cabin. It's on
Mhm.
Roslyn Street. And there is no sewer and water on Roslyn Street. And the closest sewer and water that we know of is on Roslyn Road. So we're about 150 feet roughly from our place up to Roslyn Road on Roslyn Street. To sewer and water. So we're asking that we have to cross county property. Right there,
Which one of these is
So-
county property?
Let me back up for a second. So essentially, the orange one is us. We
Okay.
own the orange.
Oh, we're the orange, okay, that's what I was
Yep,
wondering.
and the water line is located here. He's here. And he needs to cross through us to get his water line down to us. We own these weird 2 lots there. I'll let you pass that down to Chuck. Oh, sorry, I didn't see Chuck standing there.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know the orange.
Yeah, the orange is us, so we own 2 lots there, we got one when Galena Road went in. The guy gave us 8, and then we had 9 come through on a tax deed. And it looks like we just kept it, we never let it go. So we own those 2 lots in there, and he's been trying to get the water across. The town's saying they won't let the water. They won't put the water in water and sewer in until he gets an easement. And we're saying, well, we can't give you an easement till we know where they're gonna be. So the way we've kind of thought to do this is to give him an encroachment permit for 1 year, so it's gonna be a limited time encroachment permit. For him to let the town, so that way the town knows he has, and it's just gonna be a blanket to cross our property. 8 and 9. That way the town can go in there and lay the lines where they make the most sense to lay the lines on our property. And then once they're in place and we know exactly where they are, his encroachment permit will be nullified and we'll give an easement to the town. We aren't gonna give an easement to him, we're gonna give an easement to the town.
Right.
There's nothing on the lot, right?
Just the road. Yeah, just the road.
That my only concern would be if something was ever gonna be on that lot, that water line is gonna be in the way. That'd be
Yeah.
my concern.
I don't know that you could, because of the way the road's running through there,
I
put
can't,
anything on there.
I can't remember what it looks like, so.
They're pretty
There's a-
tiny lots. So
so
probably all in total, we own 60 by 150,
What is it?
60 by 150 maybe.
this is my lot. This is
17.
15, 16, and 17.
Pretty simple.
And the road goes right through 2 of our lots. And then it goes through 8 and 9, which is county out here. And this is Roslyn up here.
Well, either way, if a guy put it alongside the road, there's no different in Blackwood and that, right? Not kind of thinking that they're putting it.
Well, Paul Alt was saying that
This
he
is all-
didn't want them in the road right away.
This is the road that
If
goes
he
through our
wanted to
property.
run the road.
And
right
then
away.
we need to get up to.
Who was saying that?
Roslyn.
Paul Alt.
I suppose. in
And that's
case-
about.
Is that a county
150
road?
feet. Yeah. And
So I suppose in
lots
case
of
if we're
our county.
plowing is big and there's something happens.
Yeah,
So that's what we're trying to do.
So the encroachment permit that I would recommend you give him would say that they can't sit in the road right away. They can sit on the property. He's responsible for making sure he's on our property, like we aren't gonna go find the pins. and locate our property, you gotta just make sure you're on our property. And then, like I said, once the lines are in, we will give an official easement to the town of Phillipsburg for the exact location of the lines.
who's gonna draw up the?
Blaine would do that,
Blaine would do that.
yeah.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion when we approve the encroachment permit and easement for water and sewer connection.
On her recommendation on how it was set up. I'll second it.
there any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Alright,
Aye. There you go.
Well, thank you very much.
That was easy, huh?
We'll be very efficient and we'll be good citizens of the town. We just can't move here till we get sewer and water, so.
And just be in touch with Paul too, so to make sure.
Yeah,
that-
make sure that before you dig it, Paul looks at it.
Yeah.
And who's Paul?
And it's-
He's our road supervisor.
Cause you'll have to fill out a form there too.
Yeah,
Make
once
sure
you fill
everything-
out the encroachment permit, get it back to
Yeah,
us.
make sure all your ducks in a row before you. dig.
Start.
Right. We do have.
Well, before you dig, you have to have all those guys come in and mark it too.
Okay, who do I give this to? This is the application
Right there. Encroachment
Yeah.
permit.
and we paid for that yesterday. Wait,
So
this
then-
has to go with it.
Yeah, and then in your guys' comments, you're gonna wanna make sure you say, you know, it's his responsibility to make sure he stays on our property. We're not obviously giving him rights to go
You want
on.
to put that on there? I'll
Yeah,
let you, cause you
I know what I wanna
know
say.
what you wanna say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll pull up a chair.
Fee for this.
Yeah, I think you paid Sarah yesterday.
We paid it.
We give that with the application at all, the receipt, okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Good one.
It's on that. Approach with me.
What's Paul Well's number? It's,
Jeez. I just call this person.
you know what Paul's cell is with town?
It is. Hold on.
Here. I got it.
His county one is 559-0640.
Okay.
Maybe the other subject that. A lot of people say that's not going through because this number's not in service, so.
He told me
But
that-
I'm having the same problem, I just.
He always tells me to give out his other phone number when people call.
Well, I haven't been, because I don't.
I don't like giving it
number.
either.
It's not as business one.
Yeah.
So that's why. I haven't.
Mhm.
Anything else you wanna add, Blaine?
So.
I would say, you know, all expense to the landowner.
Just all expenses. Be paid
Yeah.
by the donor.
I'm gonna draft the easement or not, but this isn't talking about the easement, it's just the permit, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, or do you wanna just look at it one more time? And then we'll let Ed look at it. There you go.
I have bifocals, but they makes everything, they're like transition ones without the line, and make everything fuzzy.
No. Did you wanna add on there that the easement will be given to the town of Phillipsburg?
I think just in the
In
meeting,
your- yeah,
meeting minutes, but the.
okay,
Yep.
We'll go to the town
That
first.
goes with
This does talk about a performance bond. That. I don't know, if this is a big enough project to need a performance.
Oh, I think it'd be the city doing it, so it's not like, so with the city, they gotta be.
I think you could, if you want to waive, we just put it in the exception.
Cause you're not doing it,
Yeah.
right? The city.
I don't think requiring the city to do a performance bond. And I don't know if that's actually been one that we've been enforcing either, but on bigger projects,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
we want to. But, so I would just say,
Waive that.
except, yeah, saying it's, performance bond is waived.
okay, I'll pass that to you.
Get a new piece of paper. Do they charge to put you on there? I'm sure, no junk. City.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a fee.
Yeah, there's,
That your pen?
no, there's, yeah, there's definitely.
We already paid them. That's why we really wanna get this done, 'cause I don't know how you can get it back, once you paid it.
You don't.
No,
Yeah,
like trying to get taxes.
Let's see, what district is Phillipsburg in, Commissioner District? You got,
West side. If it's south of Broadway, it would be District,
I guess,
It's,
District Two.
I
Are
guess,
you two?
yeah, I guess technically speaking,
Three.
it's all
Three.
road district. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. So,
give them the drawing.
When. You read that, tell me that they. Should be
In order.
going south. So it should be 1, 2, and 3. Traveling
It
south.
says. Proof of insurance provided, that's a town, correct?
yeah,
So to say yes. Let's do the motion and there's 2 places. Signs.
Did you want to look at it?
Yeah, just for a second.
So. We already did a motion.
Oh, did, okay.
Yeah.
Then,
No, that's perfect.
Can I get copies of it?
The only thing I
And
would
we
say
did a
is,
motion with conditions.
okay, we added the no performance bond, but if you already said with the conditions stated in there, then.
Okay, are we good?
Yep.
Okay. Is this okay with you?
Yep.
Okay,
Perfect.
So do we contact Paul, or does Ed contact Paul? Ed Rosebrook, that guy?
I think y'all better be on the same page. You
Yeah.
maybe have a meeting with Ed and Paul, so everybody knows what's going on.
Should they use a different number? They use a different phone number, Paul, that three.
Okay, so Sarah
I
does.
don't know.
He got his personal.
Yeah,
What would Ed call him?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they talk up quite a bit, so I'd let them and then set up and then make sure everybody knows. Gotta get that mixture around.
John and Shirley just did a survey of their lot. And so the pins are well marked right now. It's gonna be really easy.
good.
So
Alright.
Got
Plans
him,
come together.
find it.
finally, we started this process with Sam Dennis when he was still around, and it's just. You know, we weren't quite ready when he was here. But then right after he left, we did get ready, and it's like, and since then, it's been just a snowball of. Nobody knows what to do, so.
Yeah.
It is
So I got
unusual.
worked out.
Thank you. I really appreciate all your time. So I guess we're done then?
She's got the,
She's getting
she got
the
the
quick
copy for
recorders.
you.
Okay, okay. Guess we were talking at the same time. She's getting the seal and the signature from the clerk.
Perfect. This is so exciting.
You have one more place I need you to sign before I make copies. Right there.
Do we need a copy of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna get copies, so they have a copy and you get a copy, then I'll scan it, or Blaine, I'll give you a copy and.
Lots of copies.
Yeah, Scott had been asking earlier whether you thought anything could be built there, but just given how that road runs through there.
Yeah,
I don't think
I haven't looked at it, but,
Yeah.
so it's
I
kind
don't
of
think
a,
you could.
I
I don't know how the town even got that.
We got, one of them we got for, as a road easement. And then I think when the other one came up in tax deed, we looked at the road and it kind of cuts across both. So we just kept it instead of putting it back out for sale. But yeah, I mean. You'd have to have a very tiny house. to live in
Look
it.
anymore, however, what
I
they
know.
build, and shoving them into places, so I think.
Maybe if the county needs one for an employee, they can put a tiny house on it.
Well, here's the thing, would it be feasible to maybe put it out there just to get it back on tax roll, whether or not they could build or not build on it?
I don't think you could get anything from it. I really don't. I think by the time you take out your easement. The majority of it is
Trying to start a copy?
Somebody's yard.
very
So thank you.
little piece.
No, I'll do it.
Well, thank you
Never
again
mind.
for your time this morning. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that worked out.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
All right.
Good
Have
luck.
a good day. Good luck.
Time to get to work. This is you guys' pen, I guess, somebody.
They're doing the round. Have a good day.
Blue season.
Blue season. Blue season, I don't care.
You're too obvious, though.
Yeah, I guess that's the Arizona.
Did you get your phone shot?
That's okay.
Relax, is it up again now?
Yeah, public health will be here to do the count. The employees in the next couple weeks. I know the Blue Cross Blue Shield band goes through some extent.
Are they gonna offer COVID too? Or shots?
That's a good question for Jackie. I don't know. I'll ask
I
her.
don't think so. I
They
think you have to pay for them now.
We shouldn't have to.
What?
We shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't, but I think you do now.
Yeah,
Sarah.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
do
I heard
too.
They have to pay, everybody has to pay. for
Well,
it.
your insurance would pay them, right?
Yeah.
The last one I got, boy, it made me.
Cause my son ended up with COVID again.
I haven't got
It is?
it.
Yeah,
No?
well, he's done now, but wasn't able to work last week. Cause he tested positive,
Twice, 3 times.
and he picked it up from his coworker, and his coworker's still out.
Oh, man.
Oh,
That's not
yeah.
good.
I'm going,
Thanks.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you, Linda.
Oh, no, you're fine. just have to put a little particular note in the file.
Okay, we've got about 5 minutes till our next agenda item. Is it someone gonna be with you on that? No, okay. Well, we'll just chit chat till then.
Okay.
Talk about football or something?
Did Cat get a hold of you? Her first name was Cat.
Cat Wood,
Yeah.
she's talked to me here over the last couple of weeks, but not, I haven't talked to her in the last few days.
Well, she said she was gonna get on public comment. I told her, but not over there.
Oh,
I don't know, maybe she's coming in next week or something, but
what was it about?
still about that slide, the counties. And I said, really got nothing to do with it.
No jurisdiction there over the state highway, you can ask them things, but
Well, they were in like a
Yeah,
couple
they're-
months ago.
they're pretty adamant that's what they're gonna do.
And then they're not talking about putting, you know, putting new access on the interstate, cause there's just not room with the river and everything. It just, it's a bad deal and. But
Yeah. I was down there a week or so ago and it wasn't.
I haven't seen it move, she says it's moved, but I go by there down there every day or every other day, and I don't, there's rocks that roll down, I just back there even before this, I don't see where. I just wanted to pass her
Yeah.
in case she called us.
Oh, okay. I was talking to her about different, criminal case. So.
No, and she brought it on her side.
Yeah. So, 2 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah.
And Matt Pierce is in town, if you guys didn't know.
What's that?
Matt Pierce is in town working, or the county.
Guess we're close enough to 9:50 to start our next agenda item, which is a building envelope change at Badger Bay discussion in the city.
Okay, so if you look at the map, wait. Came down with this one. You'll see their old building envelope. It's the dotted line, so you'll see their road, that road at the bottom actually isn't their road, it's an access road to the neighbor. But their building lot went down into that road. And they wanted to be able to move it up a little bit so that they weren't losing building envelope to the roadway itself. At first they had proposed to have it stick way out here, like 8 feet off the property line. We told them, no, you're gonna have to give it back 50 feet like it was supposed to be. So they've done that and they are, that's what their new building envelope is proposed to be. I don't have any problems with that. This is for the Badger Bay people. They are required to stay in their building envelope, so everything they build has to stay in their decks, saunas, whatever, has to be in their building envelope, so they always, they do move them around a little bit, but they have to get the county's permission to do that.
I see no problem with that.
I'll just make a motion that I'll make a motion on the building envelope to change that Badger Bay on Linda's.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Is there any public comment? Things none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would have put it on you, but you.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's, so I'll tell them that you guys have approved that and they can now go ahead and file their plat. Cause they actually have to file a survey to change it.
Do we have to sign anything?
If you do, it's on the survey,
Okay.
so it'll be a bit from now, but
Okay.
I'll let you know when we get that far.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Linda.
Miss Linda, for all you
Have a good
do.
day.
We've got about 10 minutes until our next agenda item.
What was going on?
Did you want to recess?
You know,
Okay, we'll recess for 10 minutes.
please.
So is Montana Department of Justice going to join us?
Yes, an engineer from the study will be here.
Hello, it's a.
It might be him. Blanche.
Oh, hi. So it says the host would like you to unmute. I don't want to unmute you.
No,
I do.
no, no. It'll go.
But say, no, you don't want that.
That we're all done. If I could get your signature there, and this one is missed on the. Claim list.
This one. Yes.
That's just that line, you don't need it. Didn't they just get a claim to it? Was that this one that claim on the elevator?
This was the one that they did 2 weeks ago.
One I was on.
Yeah, that's this one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so our next agenda item is with the Montana Department of Transportation with speed study results. Do you want to come forward and state your name and
May I sit or should I?
Yes,
have a seat?
Thank you.
Mayor, would you like to join us up front here? Okay,
Good morning, everybody. My name is Aldo Videa. I work for the Montana Department of Transportation. I'm here just to have a conversation with you all about the speed study that was performed at the request of the commissioners and the town of Phillipsburg. It is my understanding that the study was requested because there's a concern of growth occurring in Phillipsburg. And therefore, that was in March of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. The data was collected last summer. And it took all this time to gather all the information with all the studies in Helena because it is performed by technicians in Helena. And the following would be the results. I believe everybody has a copy of the results.
yes, we do.
Currently we have a differential speed limit as you're on Broadway, 35 mile per hour and 25 mile per hour on one side. One of the recommendations of the study was to match them, and I hope everybody's fine with that. To perform the speed study, the data that was collected was the speed was measured at different segments of the road, Broadway. Let me see, Broadway, Sansomi, and Ryan Road, in Phillipsburg, and the different segments were divided in, and the data was collected to see how fast people were going. And based on that, and the pace of traffic, is the 10 mile per hour zone or region at which most travelers drive at. And the speed was mainly matched to that pace of traffic because it's mainly what people are doing. That's the behavior of the current behavior of drivers on the road. And finally, some of the crash data that was analyzed, mainly occurring due to probably speeding and some abuse of substances. Nevertheless, the following are the recommendations, which you can see both in the map, which is at the end of the study, And also just the list of the recommendations, a 25 mph limit beginning at the intersection with Montana 1 and continuing for an approximate distance of 1.15 miles, about 300 feet south of the intersection with Hickey Street. So all that zone in that region, according to the map, as you can tell, will be a 25 mph, which is a more urban area instead of having a 25 and 35. So the speed would be effectively reduced in that area. Hopefully, the police officers would be easier for them to enforce it. As if you had a differential speed limit on both sides, it's more difficult to enforce it because people can claim that the speed limit on the other side is different. Continuing, on the road, a 35 mph speed limit beginning 300 feet south of the intersection with Hickey Street and continuing south for an approximate distance of 1,600 feet. To an approximately 200 feet south of the intersection with Airport Road, that's the speed limit to 35. After that, because we're getting out of town and it's becoming more and more rural, the speed limit is being increased to 40 mph and then 45 mph at the specific locations. And like I mentioned, the speeds recommendations were provided due to the current speeds that people are traveling at. And the speed, you can see in the study all the different signs where the signs are going to be located. And this is something that if everybody agrees with, and this is something that is going to be presented to the Transportation Commission, because by law, MDT does not have the authority to change the speed limit. We have to perform a study, and based on discounts, it is presented to the Transportation Commission. But at the same time, this is not the only thing or study that we present to the Transportation Commission. We also present the comments from the people of Phillipsburg, from the people of the commissioners and the mayor and everybody present. And therefore, I'm here to listen to any of the comments, to any of the concerns, or if you have any questions, so we can present it to the Transportation Commission. And this is like a brief introduction of the speed study that we performed.
Blaine,
Do you also want them in the comments in writing too? Sent to you, or how does that work?
It's okay. I think it's easier to have it in writing, so we can have a letter, and then so we don't have any interpretation on my end.
Okay.
So it would be your own words, so we would be
So
presented to the.
you'd ask for a letter from the commission, the town council, so forth, people.
Yeah, and then if you need time to gather all the comments from different people, different sectors of society, that's okay as well. I think it was given to you about 60 days from the time we sent the study about 2 weeks ago, I believe. And so you still have some time to send those.
Well, at this time, I haven't like actually seen the study, so I would reserve any comments on it, but my intention is to go through it and then I will make written comments.
Absolutely.
And include those from individual council members also. So that's as long as I have a direct route to you or your superiors that get that in their hands. The commission, is the commission appointed?
It is appointed by the government,
By the
that's
government,
correct, yeah,
okay.
politically appointed.
I see. And then they do the bureaucratic oversight over the DOT essentially in terms of changing the speed limits and so forth.
Yeah, we are here on the ground and on site, and we perform the study, and then
Do those folks meet monthly, quarterly,
they meet
weekly?
quarterly.
quarterly?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we, when is the next time they're going to be?
I believe it's November, however,
Okay.
the deadline to set up the agenda was, I think, last week. So it would be for the next meeting.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. All right, well, thank you for that
Correct.
information. I'll get a copy of that.
Don't you have to go to that big meeting over there in front of the commission?
Thankfully, I don't have to do it. It'll be
I
other
mean,
people.
if you get more support, you go there like they did that other speed thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they just kind of shove it back.
Was this something the town was expecting, or is this different than what you're expecting?
Well, I would defer to my council president here,
Okay.
Councilman, Chair Lyons, and kind of, if you had anything that, well, you just took a look at it right now.
Yeah, unbelievably
So
so.
please,
I'm going to.
we want to state your name.
Yeah.
Apologize, yes. My name is Scott Lyons. I'm the president of the town council. I also run a business on West Broadway. And unbelievably so, I will defer comment at this point.
Okay.
Noted.
Go ahead.
I had one question in regard to
Yeah, state your name, please.
You can sit.
You can sit.
You
You
can
can
sit.
stand.
Okay, irregardless, one of the questions that came up. Carlson. Yes, Carlson's in city council. Does DOT set a speed limit less than 25 miles an hour?
No, not at this time for this route. The minimum speed limit will be 25 mph at the intersection of Montana one on the north part of the.
So if we say that, if we look at the number of jaywalkers between California Street and the light. We don't, there are a lot, and
Okay.
25 miles per hour is, it's pretty fast. So are you saying to me, they will not go below 25 if we say we'd like 15 from California to the light?
Okay, this is something I don't believe the technicians when they came, maybe they didn't even observe that. This is something I would take into consideration as a comment and then elevate it to the people who came and do the study. So they can see if it requires more observation to see if we can handle that pedestrian. Nevertheless, when there's jaywalking is something that is in theory shouldn't be happening. I guess in the state of Montana, you can like cross as long as it is safe to do so if it's perpendicular to the road.
Yeah,
So so you're saying that maybe MVP should accommodate something that is not legal, like in this case jaywalking, for the sake of having a safer road. Nevertheless, it should be also part of the people's responsibility to abide by the law. And maybe we can like consider all the other alternatives, such as maybe a traffic signal or maybe a pedestrian crosswalk in this case, but this is something that I'm gonna
The
know.
study
for
said that
people.
they observed pedestrian traffic, but it doesn't say at what time.
Okay,
So.
If I might, I just for clarification in my own mind, when you have state routes running through towns like in our jurisdiction, is there ever, are you aware of anything below 25 miles an hour? That's been okayed by DOT and the commission?
I'm not aware of anything in the Missoula area or the Missoula district.
Sure.
I believe it is possible as long as the conditions require it. Nevertheless, it's more seen in local routes, as you would be
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's what yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to reverse my last statement. Yeah, I know that there's legal definitions and there's practical definitions, and you just use the term local route. The whole idea that the mayor and the council and the county, for that matter, has zero jurisdiction over the speed limits inside the town limits of Phillipsburg is absolutely an anathema to everything that I hold dear. However, I know that that's a different conversation. I will tell you, when you are approaching the intersection with the blinking red lights at South Sansom and West Broadway, which is technically Montana one, when you're approaching that from the west, it is 25 miles an hour the entire way. There's no 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign on the west end of that town, of that street. When you cross that intersection onto East Broadway, continuing east, it is 15 miles an hour because we set that as the speed limit. When you're approaching from the south, it's 25 miles an hour as you're coming down the hill in front of the hospital and the theater and approaching the intersection. That is 25 miles an hour as well. As soon as you cross over and are approaching the courthouse here on North Sansom, it is 15 miles an hour. The fact that it is not 15 miles an hour on both the southern approach and the western approach is ludicrous in my opinion, because there's an immense amount of, we'll call it jaywalking foot traffic. And the whole idea that we're going to put the responsibility on people who think that they have the right of way because they are pedestrians, because in Montana, typically you do, just because you're on a state highway that doesn't look like the state highway, the bypass out there on the west side of town looks like the highway. It's not legally, but I don't care whether it looks legally, it looks practically. And what I do not want to happen is we're going to keep this at 25 miles an hour because the data says we can, right up until somebody gets hit. Because I can tell you, as much as I've sat in front of that brewery for the last 10.5 years, drinking pints. People approach those blinking red lights and it gets lost in the noise and they just roll right on through and they're not even doing 15 miles an hour at that time. And
That's right.
I know that my next question, when is the next meeting's in November? And we've missed being on the agenda, which makes me irate. However, we're approaching non-tourist season. When is the next meeting following the November meeting? How often do they meet?
February, like I mentioned before, quarterly, so I
Okay.
believe it's in February,
Okay, so when is the deadline for us to get on the agenda for February?
about 60 days before, so it should sometime in December.
December, okay, so I promise you that we, being the council, because we've got half the council here and the
Yeah.
mayor, will be on that agenda. And because I really do, I've been trying to get this study done since I joined the council 6 years ago. Okay, and because I really want somebody to come out here and just sit and have a pint with me in the middle of July and watch what happens, because well, I've said enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blaine.
I was just gonna bring up the county had this requested the speed study done at Montana Highway 1 in Black Pine. And basically it came down to there wasn't enough accidents to even get, to merit it, the recommendation. So I think one thing you're talking about is the system is a little broke. And so you're making a good point. And then as far as the regulation of the speed limit on state highway, wanting the town to regulate that, I'd go to the legislature on that. Yeah.
Trust me, I've already started the conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
That's why I brought up about that commission meeting, because if you're not there supporting yourself, it won't go through.
Well, yeah,
And the guy that like down at Maxville, he
Mm-hmm.
was there hard. That's why it got, if you don't go to front.
well, thank you for that, because we will definitely represent, we'll get on the agenda in advance and we'll just go out there and. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Raindale District Town Council. What would be the solution to coming down North Sampson to Broadway?
Be up to you, they're changing the speed.
What
limit. I don't, there's no
What do you mean?
solution till it's,
coming down to
They look at
Broadway
it.
to Broadway? What would
we
be the
don't.
solution?
Well, you mean from North Sansom or from South Sansom,
North Sampson,
where we are right now?
yeah, coming down to the brewery.
Well, it's already 15 miles an hour.
So
The
you're
south,
saying it's a problem that.
No, it's coming down to the south end, which is 25 miles an hour, and coming from the west end, which is 25 miles an hour. And as soon as when you're heading east, as soon as you cross the intersection, or when you're heading north, as soon as you cross the intersection, it turns from 25 to 15. Not because it's an intersection, only because we do not have the jurisdiction to set it at 15 miles an hour on all four sides.
Okay,
Only the east and the north.
thank you, I'm following now.
Okay.
neither do we.
Go ahead.
I have a question, when this study was requested, because there was some like changing of personnel at MDT. Was this a concern, or the 15 mile per hour, was that a request that was made at the time?
Well, I think there was a conversation related to that specifically. I don't know if there was an official number in the request other than a general request for the study. But that's essentially what the thinking was from the council, what they would prefer.
Okay, yeah, because it's always good to start, to be precise in like the expectations. So when the technicians do come, they actually take that into consideration.
Sure.
For now, these are comments that we will gather, but in the end, I must say that MDT is just a technical, like you said, just the data. And the people here is like the comments of what we want, what is practically good. In the end, it is in the power of the Transportation Commission to decide this for state routes.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, the county only has jurisdiction over county roads, so the only thing really the county would have to do here is potentially give comments. That you're supporting what the town's wanting if you decide. And then the other question I had is, it's 15 on Broadway. East of the four-way stop, is that marked there?
I don't believe so.
I would,
but the
I'd encourage you to market there if you will.
Well, I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't-
I thought about marking it on West Broadway just to have it posted, not even though it would be illegal, but that's, you know, that's
It's
just me.
pretty, it's impossible for a law enforcement officer to write a ticket when there's no sign.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't, I couldn't,
Well, I don't know
I
if it's
couldn't, I
impossible,
think
but
someone
it's really
asked, yeah,
unlikely.
where's the sign, and when I'm prosecuting, it, then I can't show them the sign,
Right,
and
exactly.
it's gonna be this.
It is 15 miles an hour unless otherwise posted in the entire city limits of Phillipsburg, because we changed that 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
The one thing that they're trying to bring to your attention is east and west of Broadway Street. People walk out in the street, they don't look, they just walk out in the street and go, and they'll stand in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're on the 25-mile side or the 15-mile side. And local people know to drive very slow, but people coming through do not. And it's really almost an epidemic with the tourists going into the street,
the only,
thinking that it isn't even a street, that it's a park or something.
well, the only time anybody ever stopped at that four-way stop was when there was no blinking light and there was an orange barrel with stop signs on it after the UPS driver knocked it pole down 8, 9 years ago. It was like, we didn't have lights for 2 years,
Yeah.
and that's the only time anybody ever stopped.
There you go. Okay, good discussion.
You can get it figured out and then we'll read it and talk about giving a letter of support. That's all we gotta do.
That's all we would ask.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And then we'll be expecting a written notice and with comments from all the parties involved. Thank you so much
Sounds good.
for your time.
Yeah,
Is
thank
that contact
Okay, we have a
information
public
on-
comment from Zoom. Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elena Gagliano, for the record. I heard discussion about the meetings that you have. Montana Department of Transportation, and I just want to tell people that are there that on the website, the Legislative Montana Gov website, you can sign up for the interim committees and they will notify you when they have a meeting and that you can attend by Zoom or give comments, whatever. So I just want you to know that. One thing that's also a problem as a resident of Peaburg is the semis and the delivery trucks stop right in the middle of the street. And people who cross, if you're not paying attention, they walk right and they're in front of the truck and then they'll step out. And I think that's a hazard, especially in the summertime when it's very busy. And you've got these semis, delivery trucks parked right in the middle, right over the double line. And so that's my comment. Thank you.
I think that's a good argument for 15 on all of
Yeah.
Broadway. If, yeah, I just, that happens, a lot of people walk it right out in front of you, just gotta be going slow there. The 15 is justified on the east end.
And they park on both sides right in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
So they park on the highway and they park on the
They
street.
get busier and like more obstacles.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room is enforcement.
All these things, right, need to be taken into consideration.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, so thanks for the comment, that was a good
Yeah.
comment, so.
Okay,
Be
great.
in touch.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys.
All right.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks. Have a good day.
Yep.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Okay, our next agenda item is dam tenders report,
Thank you.
George
Yeah.
Townley.
Thanks.
Have a good day, yeah.
You too.
Good seeing you, Carl.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for being on the town council,
Yeah.
keep the mayor in line.
Are you kidding? You didn't get a glance, so. Take care.
He was joking.
I know he was. I love that. He didn't, when I said state your name, he started to stand up.
Yeah,
State your
it's
name.
good.
So for the record, that was Carl Sundstrom that made a comment.
So a question on that encroachment thing with Lynn that you guys dealt with earlier today. Did he come in and
Yeah,
what's the upshot of that?
Here, you want a copy of it?
So, the county's granting the, a 1 year encroachment permit, and then at the end of the year, when things are worked out, we'll give the town the easement,
All
so
right, I spoke
I'll
to
draft
Lynn.
that.
Thank you very much. I spoke to Lynn on the
Okay.
phone last week about it. I just followed.
The insurance deal we marked yes, we're just paying that as the towns, and then, there's no performance bond required.
Okay, very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, the next agenda item, dam tenders report. The lake surface is at 6428.14 feet. September 4th, 24th. That is 16.32 inches below full flow.
I'll make a motion to stay at 30, obviously, we have to stay at 30 for another 3 weeks. And then October 15th, we're well aware that we have to drop it down, and we'll probably go to 6. And depending on precipitation.
Yeah.
I second that.
Is there any public comment? Go ahead.
So there were some emails, did you see those, Lee Canangelo?
Oh, we didn't do that one.
Okay,
Yeah, we discussed those this morning.
he was talking about reducing it right now, and it's like, we'd have to have the irrigators, I think. Unanimously agreeing to that, so.
I think we just stay as what Chuck's motion, cause you're not gonna get everybody to. Yeah,
No.
I think it's a good motion, I think we'll stay.
Okay, just one question. Blaine, what are you saying that we should?
So the recommendation was to even reduce it below 30 CFS right now, and I think that's impossible unless you have all the irrigators on board with that. They're right. There was also, the model was based on like 50% of it, so it's real, I mean. Real tight conservative. I mean, if that's the case, if we have 50% of inflows here coming up, you're gonna be in trouble, but. That'd be a rarity.
Okay, so is there any public comment?
I was just gonna add, I attended that Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee meeting last week, and Todd Blythe was there and did talk about the projections. And that's where he had sent in the newer projections today based off some of the comments during that meeting. But he said really looking at the projection with the 50% of inflows, because he did only do the 50% projection. You should really only look at real numbers for that for the next 3 months, because we just don't know. It depends upon what the weather does for that part of winter, so.
Blaine.
The other thought was Ben Singer had a comment too. I didn't quite understand what he was talking about. When to reduce. I assume he was talking about October 15th, but is that your?
He
understanding?
knows that too.
Yeah.
I just think he
Yeah.
was kind of just, trying to just put it out that we are gonna reduce it in October 15th, which we talked about. All of us.
Okay, like what Ben was stating with his thoughts on the precipitation was to go to 10. And then we have an email to go to 6, so I guess we can't really do anything till we get to October 15th. Go ahead, Blaine.
So the first order is the lesser of inflows or 10 CFS. So I think he was saying inflows, he's thinking inflows right now are 13.
Yeah.
And so then it would be 10, but if they go under that, then potentially you're supposed to do that. The issue is you don't want to go too low. I mean,
Yeah.
so the 6 is really that's right on the border, but yeah, something to
Okay.
think about that time.
Okay, all right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried and passed. Okay, our next agenda item is monthly claims, review and approval. Oh. Sorry. Oh, not that, that's, yeah, definitely. I'm rambling, don't mind me.
So she got.
There's a conflict there, cause she said, but then we told her to make the train. And bullshit has said something then, so it's kind of. But.
Can we go off for a few minutes to discuss this personnel matter, just for a few minutes with the county?
That's your call. Yeah, privacy outweighs the right public right. All you can see is go. I want to do with my notebook.
Up here.
Oh, all right. My storage up there.
Yeah, that speed thing is just crazy. This is,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They don't like lowering stuff.
Until somebody gets killed,
Yeah,
that's pretty much. what
that's
we
the
said.
wrong. You're trying to be proactive and prevent stuff.
And that's one of the biggest breaches
And-
of safety, but yet,
And most times I'd say differently than Scott, I'd say, it's on the pedestrian, but when the downtown's different, I mean, you're right, they're looking at like a park or a. It's
No,
not
they
looking
do,
like
they
a
think
state
it's-
highway.
oh yeah, I slammed on brakes, and especially even when you're turning out, they're coming out even across, they come out.
I just stop and let them go.
They should change the law so the towns or whatever have more say
Yeah,
in a situation like this.
Yeah.
So the town could say, okay, we want a 15, the state said, okay, you're gonna have a 15.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Instead of
that's
having,
ridiculous.
going over the hell of that big commission, and you sit in front of them, that's a.
Yeah.
They
Well,
It's
the town attorney is gonna be in the legislature, it's Greg Overstreet, so I'm sure they'll. Get something,
Where's he from?
Stevensville. And he's open for ideas, and he's pretty moderate, but he's wanting good ideas.
Who is he?
Greg Overstreet,
Hmm.
town attorney,
R or D?
what's that?
R?
I've talked to him a few times, good guy, seems like.
You can take that
More
idea.
lawyer talk there, huh?
Yeah.
But,
There's some people there that you,
yeah.
what did you just say?
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll make the motion to accept the monthly claims.
No, sorry.
Okay, any public comment? Motion carried, pass. Nope, all in favor?
All right.
Aye, motion carried. Pass.
Wasn't very many of them.
So the review of applicants. You're only giving us 10 minutes. So while we still have some time here, you guys kind of look at.
Yeah.
the applicants.
We're there.
So overall, there was around 13, 14. There's this little
Didn't know
group
that many people wanted to work.
right here that are from like New York and some of those areas and don't really have the experience. So I kind of took those ones out. But then I think I like 7 for you guys to go through. There's 2 in there in this group that are from Indeed that didn't send me a full filled out application, but I left their stuff in there for you guys to review.
So if their application isn't complete, then it needs to be.
Completed or throughout, right?
Yeah.
That's work to be done.
Was it open till filled, or did you give a deadline?
I gave a deadline.
So I don't think, yeah. I think that's a good.
So
yeah, correction.
So incomplete. needs to be pulled.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's
like I
good,
wait to
but-
see what he's, especially if it's open public, that we can hear some questions and then.
Okay, sounds good.
I think with a deadline, that's.
I don't know, where are they, where they're incomplete, did you make, why make note that,
Yeah, I'll reach out to
cause are
them.
they local?
This one's Helena, Anaconda and Phillipsburg. Are these three? I'll reach out to each of them and let them know. Yeah.
I mean, we put right in there to complete.
Yeah, once I got those off of Indeed, I reached out to each candidate, every candidate, and requested a completed application for the county and attached that, and then I did do a follow-up email before it closed, so. Mm, no, I don't. I was wondering though, is this, probation officer's daughter?
Right.
Yeah. Just graduated BSU. That's experience in Anaconda.
So is just that the resume or is that the application too?
So those ones are just resumes. All those ones should have resume and
They probably-
application.
So is it, they have to fill out the application?
We require
And they
a
didn't
signed
fill out-
application, yeah.
Did you possibly, they came from email?
These came through Indeed, so I reached out to each of these candidates via email and requested that they fill out the application in order to be considered. As soon as I received these, and then I did a follow-up email to all of them right before the position closed, letting them know I needed a completed application and when I
Okay.
needed it by.
Okay, so following through, no application.
Yes.
Do you know any of these?
I do. I know a few of them.
You guys on or on?
We go off, in case we, can we go off? And just in case we slip a state name.
Yeah.
Or we're just-
All you're looking at is the applications right now, you can
Well,
close
we're
it.
having
just so-
a- we're- Okay, we're
Yeah.
You can
I
discuss
just
it.
thought if
waiting.
we go off them and just in case we don't slip and say a name.
Oh, then we shouldn't be looking at these. right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Okay,
Cause you know, I'm gonna say, well, you
Yeah.
know, I know I'll be the one who said, you know. It is. Sorry.
well, we're just thinking that 10 minutes gives it.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were just gonna do the top three, but do you wanna do all of them?
What do you think, Blaine?
To interview all of them,
I mean, there's
I
like
think
6
I would
or
be like the
7
top
here.
4 or something, yeah,
Okay,
but.
so we have
Up
to
to you.
pick the top 4 then.
Do you want me to give you guys sticky notes and you can number what you think the top are, each of you? We'll make it like a game and we can see if you guys
Sticky notes.
agree on the same one. You don't ever have sticky notes in here. I have to look at
Okay, we'll look at them and then during the time slot and then.
How long are they have with Billy to get trained up? 2 weeks? Couple
What's
weeks,
she say?
couple weeks, she said,
She's gonna give them a couple weeks before she,
she said she could train him a couple weeks,
yeah,
That's
before
good.
she gives her notice.
yeah.
So that's a month.
It'd be good, 'cause I think, I mean, there's so much that
Oh,
she's
we
doing,
got-
I mean, but I'm willing to help the new person as much as you.
I don't think people realize how much.
Well, this is it. I'm gonna say something right now, because. Being in that office for 28 years and being clerk and recorder for 17, I absolutely. Didn't realize the total. job duties
Yeah,
of the assistant. To just
Yeah.
exactly what it entails and putting you at a 12 and starting the new person at a 12 is absolutely the right thing to
Yeah.
do. It's they.
Well, and
you
it
have to
just
get the applicant.
with you, and it just
Getting-
seems like it's just more, look at all the new
Yeah.
FERC stuff, I mean.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
grant stuff, just.
And then FMLSA, all this stuff and HR, we've
Just
got
an
HR back in
ever-changing
the
role.
picture. So yeah, it's a big job.
Yeah,
It
Bill,
is.
it'll be messed.
It's a weird
And
job,
you may
hard to
not,
quantify.
may not go.
That's what I told him too.
Also,
Okay, all in favor?
If I can do it from Coeur d'Alene, but I think it would
Tell
defeat the
him
purpose.
I kept asking her to give me the number, she's trying to apply for the job, so I know.
Damn.
Sabotage.
Sabotage. It's a tough job market out there.
Oh, you can color coded.
I did, you each have a different color, so you guys can write 1, 2, 3. You're supposed to write, put a 1, a 2, and a 3 and put those on your top 3, and then you'll each do it, and then we'll see if you guys picked the same one.
Or do you wanna do 4,
Or 4.
3 or 4?
People you have to interview. Okay.
Cause they're half hour, hour long.
Yeah.
So it's 6
Oh.
minutes.
We've got about 7 minutes until our next agenda item. Which is potential fire restrictions in Granite County. Right?
Yeah, I just left that on there because they were rescinded when you guys were not in session, so you could discuss.
So you know what I did
Hmm,
at the convention? I took the Traverse. And it was at the Hilton downtown. And you can't find a parking spot in that.
They don't have any park.
they have ballet.
They're just full, you couldn't, so I had to park across, and there was this kind of little park thing. Across the street, and I didn't get a ticket or anything, but. Then I had to go back to my car, so I'm trying to get into the Traverse. And the battery isn't working on the fog. And I went, oh my.
Oh, no.
Why would the battery be dead on the fob? So I took the little key out. And then you know the little hole under there, so I'm sticking it under there and it wouldn't open it. I'm going, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And then I looked in the window and it wasn't right, Traverse.
So it wasn't actually the battery.
I was parked right next to it. They were identical. They were identical.
The alarm didn't go off.
So then I walked around the back of the car and went to the Traverse and tried my fob and then locked it.
We can laugh, but we're all capable of that.
Yeah.
Being right next to it.
Talk about embarrassing.
breaking into it.
Breaking into it. I mean, that's right there going.
That's good, it's not a universal key either,
No.
yeah, it's
Coded.
for the actual words.
Oh, man.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
I almost had to
appreciate it.
take my key out to try to, you know, how you, if you have the push start, how you have to take that key out and find the spot in the console to put it in to try to make the car.
You can join us up here, Missy,
Okay.
because you're up after our potential fire restrictions.
Really, how are you? I'm good, how are you? Good.
Is anybody gonna join us for the fire restrictions, or is that just gonna be us?
It's enough there, it's the same, I think it's.
Okay.
What's that?
Fire restrictions.
I think we can do that 5 minutes early. So potential fire restrictions in Granite County, discussion and decision.
They're off, they're rescinded, stay that way.
Seconded.
Any public comment? Go ahead, Blaine.
So I don't know, we put in that resolution, the automatic rescission once, Beaverhead did that. I don't know. I guess the reason for that was if you guys weren't meeting, then it could be done, but I don't know if you guys like that or not. I guess we
No,
can think about it. next
That was
time.
good.
Okay.
So we're good then and the,
Notice was out, sent out to all the agencies in the news.
okay, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. I think we can go into our personnel matter.
Okay, I would.
Can I
Just can't believe it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this agenda item, review of commissioners' assistants. Assistant applicants, scheduling interviews. We have picked 3 out of our 6 that have the qualifications to interview. And they will be notified.
Yep.
We can move on to our next agenda item. Which
So
is
the interviews will be next week?
next.
Yeah, I'll try to get them on Tuesday. And boop, boop, boop.
The morning or afternoon.
I think there's time right now in the morning session unless you.
Even if we can get one on hand, couple in the afternoon or something, just kind of break it up a little bit, and then you have a little chance to think of, okay, something.
Yeah, I think we need time in between.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Even if you wanna make your decision, then that fall, but you kinda need to, it's
Yeah.
your crunch time, huh? Yeah. So.
And I'll have to do whoever you select, I'll have to do background check, reference check before we extend transfer anyway.
And they consent to that already in the application, huh?
We have them do that in the interview.
Okay.
There's 2 sheets. I have them signed.
Come join us.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, going up here.
Oh, I don't really wanna be up front.
Get one of the first big seats.
Yeah, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, good to see you.
Bradshaw.
Scott.
How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, been a while.
I know. Nice to meet you.
Brought my back.
Yeah.
You better. Oh, no. The rat's coming down today.
Oh, no.
That's not what I was told. I only left them at home and took it myself.
Right, yeah, he wouldn't have invited us if it was gonna be bad.
Okay, so the next agenda item, Blackfoot Communications Fiber Optic Project update. If you would introduce yourselves and then go ahead, whoever's gonna start the discussion.
Sure,
We
I'll
will begin.
start. I'm JB Ray. I'm a network design manager for Blackfoot. I've kind of been the head. I've met with you guys a few times on this, as far as this project goes. So again, 2 projects. Phillipsburg Rock Creek, we call it, and then Phillipsburg Valley. So I'll give an update real quick on each of those projects. Phillipsburg Rock Creek. That's basically from Marsh Creek Ranch through Gillies Bridge, down Rock Creek, and then up Rock Creek, moves all the way to Moose Lake, the mine, back towards Calcahoe. Almost all of that main line and taps are put in the ground. They're finishing up a little piece up by the mine that we're adding back in. And then that project also includes Maxville to Princeton. And so they're blowing the fiber in that right now in the Maxville to Princeton area. And then we've got a little bit of plowing left up by the mine to do, and that project will be completed. So I would guess I'm hoping maybe in the next month, depending on how long it takes us up at the mine. The fiber getting blown in was supposed to have been done last week. They're hitting a lot of crushed conduit from all the rock that we've hit. So it's slowing everybody down immensely. But drops, as far as the drops go to people's homes, which Eric can talk more about, but that project, we've got a majority of all of those already completed. We've already turned over all the customers in Marshall Creek. They're already up on fiber today. Unless there's somebody that we couldn't get a hold of. But I think we've got 30 to 40 people over there, I think, cut over. And they're slowly working on Moose Lake and Rock Creek Road right now, as far as cutting people over onto the fiber. Phillipsburg Valley is a whole nother beast. So that's everything here in town from Marshall Creek back to here. Rumsey area, Georgetown Estates. While we have a lot of that in, Rumsey we haven't started on yet. And there's one little tiny piece up here above town that we haven't started on. We're currently working in the Georgetown Estates area. It's not going near as fast as we had hoped, but we are making progress. We will probably see a little bit of that construction happening next spring. I just don't know that there's enough people. We've hit a lot of labor shortages for crews to do work. So it's really slowed us down. I think we're 11 people down on those crews that we had initially started with. So they're doing the best we can with what we have. We're bringing in some new crews starting next week for drops here in town. They will be focusing, I believe they're gonna start in the Black Pine area to get that area all completed, because we've already done some there. And then they'll be moving into town with those crews. We're expecting 4 to 5 drop crews, different drop crews. So, we should be seeing, if we've got 4 crews here, we should be seeing 1 to 2 drops completed a day by each of those crews, is our hope. Maybe up to 3 or 4 if they're short. And I've been checking in with the mayor on occasion just to make sure that he's happy with everything. He's pretty good about bringing stuff to my attention. Last conversation we had was really good. He said, stop in and say hi. So I think I'm doing okay on that side of things there too. So now it's just up to you guys to tell us how I'm doing.
Go ahead.
I live on the East Fork, and 2 weeks ago, they said that it was all done out there. But
I think they're
I
setting
got a picture of my
handfuls.
neighbors, and it's got the orange
Where are you at?
on the ground on Aspen Drive, and that's a neighbor's place.
And that's
But
last
these-
week?
These aren't connected to anything.
Connected? I can't see it. Sorry.
Oh, that's for a handful. I believe that's probably what that is up there. Probably just waiting for a handful to be set.
Yeah, that's a handle being set.
Yep. So the plowing's
That's
done.
on Sunny View,
Hmm?
right? That's
What's
over
that?
off of Sunny View.
No, it's on Aspen.
Aspen, Sunny View. Yes, they haven't got out there yet. He has tickets called in, that should be in this week.
So that's where they put the little box in the ground, and that stuff all gets hidden.
Okay.
So all the plowing.
I just mentioned that because 2 weeks ago, it was said it was all done out there, and
For the plowing, yeah.
When you put that box in, then it's all done at that point, or you still have, then you're still going to each individual house from there.
Correct. So once that box gets set, that kind of sets, all that conduit in the ground so that they can blow the fiber into their
Oh, okay.
home
All
for
right.
drops and
Okay.
everything else. So. But the hardest thing and the biggest thing that we try to make sure of is getting all that main line and those taps in, because that's what we can't do in the winter. If we get a drop plowed to your home and down to a handle, Eric's guys can go in during the winter and they can blow that in. So it's more about making sure we get all the stuff plowed into the ground. That's the key to this, so that this winter we can go through and start blowing fiber to everybody's homes.
okay, I'm also concerned about, you guys said you were gonna do the ditches out there, and nothing's been done.
They got all their crews out on the highway right now. It is definitely, we talk about it weekly.
Okay.
They're gonna come out there before the weather
And
changes.
here's a picture of down below in that steep area down towards Elk Creek on the East Fork Road. And I've never seen this ditch plug up before. And we just got a little bit of rain out there the other day. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
And that's past the mailboxes.
okay.
Down that.
Yes.
City.
Well, we'll address it. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're not here to mess up everybody's roads, right? Thanks for bringing it to our attention. You guys, I think, have my business card too. You guys are welcome to call me anytime when you have questions or issues on things. Jason's usually who I'm going to give that to, because he's the one that interfaces with the contractors mostly. So,
I think I've settled down now a little bit, just like first. Breaking ground, everybody gets nervous.
You bet.
Like, he was saying like 2 weeks ago, I met him down at my house there in Knoxville.
was it his crew or was it?
It was RMC.
Oh, okay.
And they left, so I didn't know even why I met him. I got out of here early, they said they needed me at my house to look at something, and then they left. So I don't know.
That was a drop crew.
That's probably one of my guys, so.
I mean, I know big.
Yeah. So I'm Eric Schwenk, I'm the outside plant manager, and I kind of manage the drop and of getting that done, and there's a little more elaboration on that, the mainline crew comes through and they're doing their thing. Then the drop crews, they could come at any time, it could be a year later, because we are really relying on the landowner to give us permission. So they have to contact them, and so even though it might look like it's all done, if nobody gives us permission to access their property, so
we still might have a little bit left next year. And I think on the Rock Creek side, we've got maybe only a dozen of customers left that we need to plow. Up in Maxville, there's about 30. And we got a crew, two crews up there right now, hoping to get that done before the.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I didn't know something happened,
Yeah.
that happened somewhere else, it don't matter. I mean,
Yeah, usually, I mean, so their requirement is they're supposed to reach out 2 days ahead of time before they get there, just to make sure you're okay with them coming on their property.
They were nice guys, yeah, they were nicer guys, and we walked around the house and.
Okay, so they were looking to see where they were gonna plow the drop
Okay.
and talk
Yeah.
with, you know,
Yeah,
make
no,
sure
I-
you were good with it.
I just want that noted, because some people are saying they're not talking to them. I just
Yeah.
want to Put that on the record that, yeah.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we appreciate that. You know, it's a big project. You know, you think about all the people that live here and we have to touch base with all of them. You know, some of them are snowbirds, some of them aren't, you know, so you're calling people and they answer the phone. They're in Kentucky when you're talking to them, you know, and you're like, hey, we need to plow your drop. Well, we're not there. So, you know, we're moving them into the next year, right? And so we're spending a certain amount of time. I mean, our contractors, our employees, everybody trying to contact people to get access. One of the things that really helps us, like we always say, is call in and get an order placed. If you go onto our website, you can actually select the type of services that pop into.
So if you can't get a hold of a neighbor, they're out of state. Does that limit the work for everybody else? I mean,
No.
can you finish everybody else's?
Yeah, we won't not do like a couple homes in that area just because one guy's not there. We need to try to get everybody cut over, you know, onto this fiber because we will be shutting down the copper network.
Blaine, you have a question?
Oh, I was gonna ask about Drummond, you're gonna be blowing fiber this winter, or what's the plan there?
For the main line.
Yeah.
So if we can get it all in, right, so
Yeah.
that kind of.
You can see it's all over the road, all over everywhere, but there's a bunch of it that needs to be tied together. and,
Okay.
The hope is yes, we'll be blowing it all this winter.
What were you saying before that?
Oh, so if you were to go to our Blackfoot website, there's actually,
Thanks.
yeah, blackfoot.com. And you were to go on there and pick your area, you can actually put an order in online. That'll get your order started on Blackfoot's, with our customer service group. You can select the speed you want, you know, and give them all that information. What that does is puts an order in our system so that when it gets to Eric's crews, you guys have already selected the service you want and you know we're coming basically, right? It's not that you have to do that, but if you have the ability to, it speeds the process up a little bit.
Slash fiber. Slash fiber.
Yeah, and so if you go to that site, you can click, you know, Beaver.
And letters have gone out too, I know, I got one.
Yep.
And I'd already registered a long time ago thinking that it'd be
Way to
all
go,
that in
Lance.
spring.
Woohoo.
The nice thing, if they get that service order too, that you might get some updated contact information, like a new cell number or something, makes it easier for the crews to try and get
Yep.
over to everybody, so.
And they do a mailing list too, based on the information that we have filed for everybody, so they are sending updates, you know, to their emails, you know, letting people kind of know the status of things. But, you know, with a lot of people, they have pretty tough, you know, not firewalls, but, you know, spam filters and things, so some of that stuff may not come through, you know, on people's emails, but.
Not way over my head.
Hey, you know what? Call 541-5000 and request fiber. That works too. We still do it over the phone.
So I'm still confused. At the Eastport, is the fiber blown in?
No, it's all weak.
The fiber is in everywhere except for to the homes.
Except for the homes?
Yeah. I think they don't have any sections left in there, do they?
No, it's all
Yeah.
on the.
Yep. Yeah, so the main line and the taps are all in. Now, I think you've got a majority of the drops up in that area.
Yeah, there's, well, still all, I think just about all of them are plowed, not quite all of them have the fiber blown in yet, so. Which in the next 2 weeks, we'll be getting a crew full-time coming in, blowing it all in, and getting it ready for the cutover process.
And then our service desk people will be contacting to schedule appointments with people, make sure they're home, you know, because we need to get in the home and, you know, turn the service up.
That's for inside the house?
For inside the house, yeah. Yeah, yeah, so when they plow the drop, they stick the box on the side of the home and everything. Then when they come to schedule the appointment, they'll actually do the work from there into your home. And show you how to run things and, you know, kind of It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy and it works really well. I live up by Georgetown and I have the service I haven't had a problem
Imagine
yet.
that.
Hey, when they said they were bringing it up to the around Georgetown Lake, I was like, woohoo, you know, cause I was using wireless and so I was struggling a little bit there, but.
I made them wait, don't worry.
Yeah. Here I thought I'd be the first guy turned up, but.
No,
You use the term plow. What does that mean?
So we have equipment that has a large metal shank on the back of it that goes down into the ground. So when they put fiber on the front of it, a reel of fiber, and they stick that plow into the ground and they plow it through the ground. The vibratory plow is generally what we're using. So it kind of shakes while it's in there to kind of upset the earth so they can plow through the ground easier.
So and then it just comes right to the house or what?
Yeah, usually they start from the house. It kind of depends on the scenario, but usually, you know, they'll plow either from the house or from the handhold to that home location. And it's a smaller piece of equipment. It won't be like the great big ones you see alongside the road. They will stick that in the ground and they will plow it all the way back to that handhold or up to the house, however way they're gonna do it. And then, but they're not putting fiber in it at that time. We're putting 3/4 inch conduits, that orange conduit you see. And we do that so that if you're out with your shovel digging flowers and you're like, oh, a hard spot, and you bounce on it really hard and cut all the way through it, we can just dig that spot up and couple it and both put a new fiber in there. So it's easier to repair in the future. So be careful when you're digging your
Yeah,
flowers.
I forget.
Yeah, the plow leaves like a 2-inch slot instead of like an open trench. We had to back all that, so it's just, they usually can just drive over it and it closes itself up.
How deep generally is that?
18 inches is what we're asking. We don't always get it if it's rocky or there's, you know, the septic's out there or something. It could be shallower, but 18 inches is.
And here in town, you may see some stuff that's only 6 or 8 inches because we don't want to have to bring in a big backhoe and blow up somebody's yard to get a big rock out of the way, you know, so it's a little bit forgiving, you know, we understand that we're not gonna be able to get that depth everywhere, but we try, we ask for that.
Kind of all we needed was just a little bit of an update and sounds good.
Is that enough for you guys? I know Chuck, you seem concerned, but Jason, when we leave here, I'll talk with him, but we'll make that a concern that needs to be addressed right away. And in the future, if you have those, please don't hesitate to reach out. I mean, you don't have to wait for these kind of meetings, you know, you can reach out to me and I'm happy to make sure it gets taken care of.
So good.
Is there any public comment?
Well, thank you guys very much for your time. We appreciate it. I know you guys are busy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and again, any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Good to see you.
Yes, good
Yeah,
to see
take care.
you. I really as well.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Yeah, good to see you. See you next time.
Next time.
Hopefully, when the next time we talk though, I can just say, hey, all the crews are gone except for the drop guys and we're cutting people over and you guys will be like, woo, I got your service and we're great. Yeah, thanks, you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You want the store closed?
I can stay open.
Open.
Yeah.
It's just good to have them come in, give an update, now people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna get those ditches done, cause,
Yeah.
you know, come break up, that's gonna be bad.
How far they're going, I mean, like Clark Ranch, are they going to there and
That's what I heard. She,
I don't know.
what I heard, yeah, I heard they're going all the way to Marletta's.
Oh, I bet they do.
Okay.
That's right there.
Being to have that.
So, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I heard. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know how far down it.
Best they can, I mean, they're hitting a lot of options.
Yeah.
Here,
Oh, there's
there,
some
rock.
rough terrain.
Yeah.
Some of the worst they said here in Thompson Falls and stuff, it's pretty bad.
What's that?
I guess the rocks, like you said, between Phillipsburg and Thompson Falls are about not alike, cause they hit rocks up there and just
Hmm.
trying to get through them.
I think we're close enough to our next agenda item, public health MOUs with Drummond Public Schools, Phillipsburg School District, and Hall Elementary School, Granite County Medical Center. Discussion and decision.
And
So I have Hall Elementary and Granite County Public Health. We have Drummond School District and Granite County Public Health. And Drummond Public School and Granite County Public
oh, is
Health.
there a Phillipsburg?
Memorandum of Understanding.
Was the signing page there for all of them?
Yeah, it
Alright.
was weird the way I scanned that because one was double-sided, but Granite County Medical Center, I don't have one for yet. Deb, though, is on too. I don't know if she has more
They just
information.
came up. and,
We have not received ours back from Granite County Medical Center yet. I'm hopeful that we get it this week.
You still approve it now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're just basic memorandums of understanding that we will work together in the county.
Cool.
Okay, sounds good. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion that we go ahead with the public health MOUs with Drummond, Phillipsburg and Hall.
No second.
Any public comment?
And you include Granite County, medical center as well. It's gonna be the same thing,
Yeah. And the
And,
medical.
And medical.
and the medical center,
Okay. But that will sign at a later date.
correct.
Okay, gotcha. Motion carried or any. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, aye, motion carried. And passed. There's Drummond. It's 9/24/24. Baby. I think we can go forward with the maternal and child health block grant program task order. Discussion,
Same as it's been.
Yeah, I don't know if Deb has anything to add. I think this is a little bit of an amendment, but it's task order. I think we're getting a little less money than we have in the past 2 years, but yeah, we just need a signature.
Yes.
Yes, Billy's right. It's the same task order that we've had forever. We're getting $500 less this year.
okay. Thank you, Deb.
How much is that?
What's the total?
I think it's 40.
Total is 4,000.
Just seen it, I was gonna say, yeah, we're getting September 30th. We'll get 4,500. On page 11, line. I'll make a motion that we go ahead with the master contract. Maternal and child health block grant program.
No second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried, pass. There's something to sign.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a bunch of them.
Yeah, and that's actually an electronic signature.
Oh, it's one of those electronic little izzies.
Yeah,
21st century.
there's quite a few in there to sign.
So I'll do that now that you've motioned on it.
Okay, that was the last agenda item. I project adjournment.
Good job, everybody.
Adjournment, we are adjourned.
Good job. Good job.